Hey everyone, Cooltrainer Camilo of the Game Pack here to break down the new Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass trailer that was released on June 2nd. This trailer gave us some more details on both the Isle of Armor coming later this month as well as the Crown Tundra coming in the fall of 2020. Before we get started, make sure to smash that like button down below. Now let's jump in. The trailer starts off with a shot of a Galarian Slowbro, and we can see that the Shelder has moved from the Slowbro's tail to his arm and has become a cannon of some sorts. It's also now a poison psychic type Pokemon. The Pokemon press release site says, a Shelder bite set off a chemical reaction with the spices inside Galarian Slowpoke's body, causing Galarian Slowbro to gain the poison type. It was stated before that we would be getting an item within the Isle of Armor to evolve Galarian Slowpoke into Galarian Slowbro. Next we have a shot of the dojo featured in the Isle of Armor, and then we have a shot of walking up to a tree, which I believe is the Crown Tundra. And now we have a look at what the wild area is going to look like within the Isle of Armor. I think it looks actually a bit nicer than the wild area in the base game. Like, you can see the tree in the background. It's not just one branch. It has like multiple branches coming out of the ground. There's some flowers. We have some nice yellow and red flowers. So there's definitely variety in the environment. And you can see the one of the towers in the distance. Okay, in the next scene, we have a scene I would believe is in the Crown Tundra. We also see Eescue floating in the water, which is really cool because Eescue was a very rare Pokemon in the base game. It was only like a few % random encounter rate in Pokemon Shield, so it's cool that we get to have them in the overworld now. And then we get a look at some of the returning Pokemon, like we have an Absol, we have a Luxray, and then we have a few scenes of Urshifu showing off both its rapid strike style and single strike style. And then we have a shot of a Giratina in a max raid battle. Next up, we have a scene of our trainer walking out of the train station. I believe this is right when you start the DLC, like as soon as you leave the train station and enter the Isle of Armor. You can see Avery there, that's our rival in Shield. Now we have some more returning Pokemon. We can see a Tauros in the grass, and we can see a Scyther, we can see a Druddigon, we can see a Loudred, a Whismur in the background, and then if you look really good in the corner, there's a little Woobat up there. And then we have a Sandstorm area where we can see a Sandile and a Braviary. I'm not entirely sure yet if the Isle of Armor areas are going to have dynamic weather like the wild area, so I don't know if this is just a Sandstorm area or anywhere on the island can have Sandstorm. We don't know yet. And then we get another wild area shot. Here we can see an Oranguru and a Tangrowth, which is actually returning. Then we get a shot of Executor, not Alolan Executor, because we're not in Alola. And then we see a Boggy scene, and we can see some Poliwhirl and a Politoed in the background. That's going to be awesome. Politoed was very missed from VGC, and it's nice to have it back. And then we have another scene with the Wailord, and then one scene with a Kangaskhan, Bouffalant, Lycanroc, Emolga, Minshao, Fletchinder, Dragalge. This is called the Cramomatic, and you will be able to feed it 4 items, and it will give you a new item in exchange. And the Pokemon Press website says you will be able to receive Pokeballs, PP-Ups, and many more rare items. And here we have a scene of a woman making what's called Max Soup. So this is a new item introduced. If you feed Max Soup to a Pokemon that is a species that can Gigantamax, you can turn a regular Pokemon into a Gigantamax capable Pokemon. So I assume this is how we're going to be able to get our Gigantamax Galarian starters like the Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Teleon. And here we have another scene of what's in the dojo, and it looks like everyone's about to have some Max Soup. So this does look like it's part of the story. We will have to see once the story is complete if you can come back here and keep eating soup to make more Gigantamax Pokemon. And then we get another look at our rivals that are introduced for the DLC. We get Clara in Pokemon Sword, and we get Avery in Pokemon Shield. And look closely here, they're throwing their Dynamax Pokeballs, but they only show one shot of Galarian Slowbro. I don't know if both Avery and Clara both have Galarian Slowbro, because Clara is a poison user and Avery is a psychic type user, and Slowbro fits both of those. It's a poison psychic, so that's probably likely. And then it looks like here we get offered a Bulbasaur or Squirtle that I'm guessing can Gigantamax, and we get to see the Gigantamax forms of both Venusaur and Blastoise. So Venusaur and Blastoise's Gmax moves work really similar to Charizard's Gmax moves. They basically keep doing damage to a Pokemon if they're not that specific type. So Blastoise's Gmax move, Gmax Cannonade, will do damage, and then it will continue to do damage to Pokemon that are not water type. And Venusaur's Gmax move is Gmax Vine Lash, and that will continue to do damage to non-grass type Pokemon. Okay, and then we have a scene of Kubfu on top of the dojo, and we see our trainer receiving the Kubfu that we will use in the fighting dojo. We can see him cooking some curry, and we see our trainer heading to the Tower of Waters with a Starmie and a Staryu in the background. And then we also see the Tower of Darkness. It was previously stated if you pick the Tower of Darkness to train Kubfu in, Kubfu will evolve into the Single Strike form, and if you pick the Tower of Waters, Kubfu will evolve into the Rapid Strike style form. And what's really cool about Urshifu is both of their signature moves, Wicked Blow and Surging Strikes, will ignore any protect that the opponent has put up. And if they're Gigantamax, they will also ignore Max Guard, which is going to be crazy for competitive. Then we transition into the Crown Tundra. We have a lot of wintry scenes. We can see that tree in the distance that we saw at the beginning of the trailer. And then we get a look at Calyrex, which is the new legendary for the Crown Tundra. We can see the trainer moving through a white birch forest, and we can see Frostmoths in the wild. That's super cool. And then we have a scene where we're back on the water, similar to the beginning of the trailer. And you can actually see there's like particle effects coming off the bike. Then we have some more new wild area for the Crown Tundra. And then we zoom into what looks like to be a church at the base of the tree that's featured in all of like the promotional material for the Crown Tundra. We see a scene of walking up to what I assume to be the new Reggie temples, and it seems there is a floor puzzle to unlock the Reggies. So here we have Reggie Rock, Regice, Reggie Steel, and I love the Relicanth. I don't know if that's going to be required for this, but that's such a callback to the original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, where you had to have a Relicanth in your party to encounter the Reggie trio. Okay, we can see some more wild Pokemon in the Crown Tundra. We see an Absol, we see a Cryogonal, we see a Swablu. We also see a Graveyard scene. We can also see another bike riding scene, and this one has different sparkles coming out of the bike. I do remember that they said we are going to get bike customization, so that's going to be awesome. And then in this scene, we're seeing the start of the new co-op feature that they're introducing with the Den Exploration. So this is where you're going to be able to encounter Max Raid legendary Pokemon. So you see Mewtwo, we have the Tower Duo, Ho-Oh and Lugia, Groudon and Kyogre, Dialga and Palkia, Reshiram and Zekrom, Xerneas and Yveltal, and then Solgaleo and Lunala. So now these are the new Reggies that are being introduced. This one is Reggie Alecki, an electric type. Its special move is Thunder Cage, which will prevent opponents from switching out. And then we have Reggie Drago, a dragon type, and its special move is Dragon Energy, and this will do more damage the more HP that Reggie Drago has. And then we get a look at our Galarian birds. We have Galarian Moltres, which is actually dark flying. We have Galarian Zapdos, which is fighting flying. And then we have Galarian Articuno, which is psychic flying. And then we get another look at Calyrex, our mascot legendary. And then we get a look at both the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor. We see our Gigantamax Galarian starters. And then we get put back into Winden, where we're going to have the Galarian Star Tournament. Now this is going to be in the Crown Tundra, but players will be able to battle various characters that they've met on their journey. And you can also tag battle with them. So we get a shot of Magmar, Kingdra, Magnezone, Ninetales, Aggron, and Galarian Slowbro. And that's pretty much it. We also got a release date for the Isle of Armor, which is June 17th. And we still don't know exactly the date for the Crown Tundra, but we still know that that's coming in the fall of 2020. Let us know in the comments down below what you are most excited for in the Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. For more Game Pack content, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to never miss a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.